Hello, hello. Well, as let me check if I got the right. No, I do have the right audio on. Yes, I do. So for anyone that has the super short attention span, they've gone already. I actually have like circle and everything. So I had no intention of actually showing up on live today at all. I have been feeling a little bit wiped out after having some hide go. Never mind. Yeah, I had a week where I've had to kind of decompress and sit with some bodily responses to triggers and things like that. But um as the sort of like little blurb thing says, had a bit of amusing, where I was just having a little think about, I went over it in the nourishment workshop about how it's really helpful to have an understanding of what your sensory needs and your sensory preferences are, uh, and in particular in relation to your fitness and nutrition journey. And I had a little bit of an example of it today. So, I was I've been feeling like just wiped out. So like I've crossed a barrier, if you like, in terms of something that was holding me back. And my body is just, now that it's found safety. So this is more of a CPTSD thing, but now that I've found safety in my body, it's tired. So that's why I was like, well, I'm not really going to force myself to go onto lives or do too much stuff, but I mean, at the end of the day, I find this stuff actually really therapeutic and really good. But I've digressed a little bit here. I was heading home and I was like, I'm going to stop off at the bakery because I really want a sausage and bacon roll. And it felt like, so like a lot of the time when I'm teaching clients, I'm talking about, um, you know, listening to your body and getting to rewiring your trust with your intuition and everything like that, but also where with being neurodivergent, so being autistic, being ADHD, sometimes it can be quite difficult to kind of to do that, really, because you get some signals that aren't quite matching up. And as far as I'm aware, that's called interoception. So you have interoception where your body has signals that tell you that you're hungry and things like that. And when you're like ADHD and when you're autistic and things, the signals are a little bit different, and we don't always get the ones the same. Um, so it got me thinking a little bit. I was like, okay, well, do I really want it? Um, and yes, I did really want it. However, what I was seeking was the sensation, was the taste sensation of like salty, spicy, something quite, I guess, almost aggressive. Aggressive. Um, so that's one of my things. So I'm undersensitive to taste. So quite a lot of the time, when I am sensory seeking, I will probably seek out either movement. Movement is one of my undersensitivities. So this is where I mentioned that impact can be one of those things. So sometimes, even if I'm experiencing a period of time where I'm having insomnia or something like that, sometimes to reset that, I go for a run. But yeah, taste is a big one. So I am either going to want something really, depending on where I'm at, I either want something really bland or I want something really hot and really salty. So it got me when I thought about that and I rationalized, I thought, well, at the moment I am wanting to not lose weight for the sense of, oh, I want to, look a certain way. But I know that if I want to hit my speed goal for my running and things, it will probably help if I'm a tiny bit lighter. So, of course, the bacon and sausage roll, as yummy as it is not probably going to help me towards that goal. Um, but also in terms of how I've been feeling in my body, where I'm kind of wiped out at the moment and need a lot of rest. I'm needing a lot more hydration, so I need to work out, do I really need another cup of decaf coffee or would I benefit from more water? So I'm having to, because another sensory seeking one I tend to have is coffee, namely decaf coffee, because caffeine tends to make me a bit like, so I cycle between, I tend not to have ones in the afternoon, but I'm tending to cycle more water. Have a water first, and then if you still want it, you can have it. So that's the kind of dialogue that's going through my head at the moment when I'm making decisions, when I'm in a pattern where the feelings in my body where I'm low energy and I'm needing to rest more and I'm feeling a bit sensitive emotionally, physically, all these things. These are the periods of time where I am going to seek comfort from things like food or movement where they might not actually support me in getting my energy back and getting my just feeling good, really. Because of course, if you're having lots of really salty things, it dehydrates you more. You're going to need more water to level out. My body also doesn't love gluten, so having, a white bread roll, which I'm not even massively enthused about, is not going to help. So it's looking at all of the different things and kind of working out. And it doesn't always sit as a huge mental agility activity, but in those initial stages where you're maybe changing a pattern in a period of time, like I am now, even, this may be my work of like over a decade and a half, but there's still periods of time where I hit a new level and I'm like, okay, some of my old patterns are coming up here. How can I make a better choice? So I didn't get it. I came home and first thing I did once I put everything like away was to just sit on the sofa. So the feeling of things that are soft and comfortable and blankets. This is why I tend to wear these like soft wool jumpers and I wear a lot of lycra and stuff. The feeling of fabric or just comfort also is something that helps me to regulate myself. That's another one of my sensory needs. So that sort of allowed me to come back down again, and I had a glass of water. And then I had the packed lunch I actually prepared for myself. So, you know, it is really good and really important for me to come on and talk about these things because a lot of the time, someone that worked in the fitness industry for such a long time and, people look to me as like, an expert in sorts, is to remind people that, we all have our things and we're all human. And quite often you're going to find that, the people that have the learned knowledge are sometimes finding it just as hard, if not sometimes harder, to do the right thing because it was kind of because we're human and we all have our things. So another one of the things is that I get into that sort of mental rumination that you do, characteristic of the whole, you know, all of it, all of the neurodivergence. Even so it's like remembering that CPTSD is an acquired neurodivergence as well, is that I can end up building associations. So one of the associations I personally have built and why I am not always, not always, I'm generally not judgy when people are telling me their behaviors and things like that, is because the limiting beliefs that I personally have around certain things that are not true as well, happen a lot for me. So my packed lunch, it had, some chicken that I'd cooked, had some olives, it had some of these, oh, really nice, deliciously Ella, like crackers. I have to find them. But I had some of them and it had some peppers, it had some blueberries, like it was nailed it. Oh, and it had this dipping sauce, the bang bang satay from Marks and Spencer. Oh my god. But anyway, part of me was going, no, boring. No, I don't want to have that. I want to have something that. So I still, and it's been a long time, developed, have this association to, if I have the things that I've already made, it's boring or it's not. It was nice. It was so good, or to healthy food. So when I'm doing the mindset work with clients, and with all of the courses and recordings and books and all the bits and pieces that I put out, one of the things I am really encouraging people to do is go in and look at their associations, because I have found it a really, really challenging one to let go of, that idea that healthy food equals boring. Now, and this is my job. Yeah. This is my interest. It's the stuff that I love, and I love eating well. But when I'm out and about, and particularly if I'm going through a period of time where I'm feeling just a bit wiped out and stuff like that, my mind goes to, no, if I'm treating myself, I'll have the bacon roll or the chocolate or the, too many coffees, all these things. And all that really does is hold me in that position where I don't really have a lot of energy. Um, so it is really, really useful to start looking at the associations that you have, and starting to rewire in new ones. That's a whole other video, but looking at, just the first step is awareness, is to getting that awareness of what your thoughts are, what your associations are to certain things. So, whoa, I probably shouldn't have said any of that. People are like, "Who? What do you know about fitness and nutrition?" Um, but it all starts with that association. And when I was, going through my childhood and stuff like that, a lot of the time I comforted myself with, the low nutrient dense foods, high calorie food. So my association is that is comfort rather than the stuff that is going to nourish me. But that additional level or additional layer of understanding what my sensory preferences and sensory needs are, which are only came to me in the last 2 years when I found out that being autistic was a reality for me. So then it sort of made sense. I'm like, oh my God, so I had my lunchbox, and then the thing I did after that to satisfy that sort of salty, um, very intense flavor craving was then to go and have a little bit of lime pickle. That was it. Done. Done. And of course, things like, the what's the word called? Fermented foods, of course, have like a lot of, that good bacteria and stuff in them. Obviously, you wouldn't go mad on it because there's a lot of salt, but the fermented foods are really good for your gut flora and things like that, which is something that I'm having to support a little bit harder at the moment as well, while my body's still understanding that she's safe now and it's okay for things to go well and everything this week. So yeah, if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments, or let me know, and I can always do more videos on things like this. I've not turned my sound off. I apologize. Um, yeah, but I am going to be doing, another few videos. So just generally when these things come to me, but um, things that I think I've taken for granted as things that I just know and understand, that I just expect that everybody else knows and understands. And maybe the more of them that I share, uh, the more it'll, get more understanding out there, and give a pathway to solutions and things like that. So, uh, if you missed the video, it'll probably be on Facebook for a little while, but all of my videos now live on YouTube. So they go over to YouTube as well, where they will stay. I am not having luck. And I declined a spammy call, so it's probably going to call me so much more. Yeah, all of my videos now live on YouTube. So You can find them there. And of course, if you like and subscribe the channel, that'll really help me out. And if you comment to let me know if the videos have helped you. So amazing. See you later. See you next time.